master kit. In each kit you receive springs, pivots, screws, and an Allen pencil. With the master kit, you also receive the self-ligating tool. Today, I'm going to demonstrate how easy it is to install the system in the mouth. Let's place a system using the traditional pivots first. Looking at the hybrid screws, you will notice that there is a tip that can be removed. Here is how you remove the tip. Removing the tip allows the pivot to slide along the arch wire. In my practice, we do not remove the tip of the screw. We like to have the pivot secured to the arch wire. Place the traditional pivot on a wire larger than an 016 by 022. And when you secure the pivot with the screw, you will see that the pivot now does not move. To place the system in the mouth, the best way is to start by assembling the pivot, spring, and screw combination outside of the mouth. For Class 3 placement, slide the pivot onto the upper arch wire and place the eyelet of the spring over the pivot and secure it in place with the screw using the Allen pencil provided in your kit. At this time, go ahead and insert and ligate the upper arch wire into place, keeping the placement of the pivots mesial to the first molars. Then, for your lower arch wire, slide the pivots onto the arch wire and insert and ligate the wire into place, keeping the placement of the pivots distal to the lower cuspids. Using a mathau, simply stretch the spring eyelet down to the lower pivot and secure in place with the screw. Similar steps are used with the Class 2 setup. However, you will start with the pivot, spring, and screw combination preloaded onto the lower arch wire. Ligate the wire into place, keeping the pivots mesial to the lower first molars. On the upper arch wire, slide the pivots onto the arch wire, insert and ligate, keeping the placement of the pivots distal to the upper cuspids. Using a mathau, simply stretch the spring eyelet up to the upper pivot and secure in place with the screw. Now let's move on to installing the CS system with the self-ligating pivot. The self-ligating pivots are for use on wire sizes 016 by 022 up to an 021 by 025. Using the self-ligating tool, gently pull the door of the self-ligating pivot into the open position. Place the self-ligating pivot onto the arch wire using your bracket placing tool and close the door using your fingertip by a gentle push. From here, you will simply place the CS springs over the pivot and secure the screw into place using your Allen pencil. As you can see, the system is quite simple. With the addition of the self-ligating pivot, the system is now even faster to place.